Good evening, everyone. This is Brandy Fox with Be the Entrepreneur coming through live again with another Talk It Out virtual chat show where we talk about solution based minority support for minority business owners. I'm super excited to host you guys today. The topic of the day is something that I feel like people kind of overlook the importance of protecting your professional energy. When people think about business, they really kind of focus on they really focus on the money, the profit, the business plan, the logo. And even though all of these things are really, really important, you cannot do anything business wise if your mind is not right and if your energy is not right. And when we talk about energy, it's so many different words that we can use for that. Some people say vibe, some people say spirit, whatever that means to you. It's important that that's in check because however you are on the inside, that affects the people that work for you. It affects the people that you work with. In addition, it affects your customers. And in order to be an effective entrepreneur and in order to grow a successful brand, it's important that you protect your professional energy at all costs. I feel like personally, toxicity in today's society is at an all-time high. So as an entrepreneur, especially if you're a dualpreneur where you're working full time and you're an entrepreneur, and Lord forbid if you got a husband, kid, spouse, it's a whole nother shebang and it can really pull you different ways. So today I'm super excited about talking about different ways as entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, you can protect professional energy. If you are not following us, Be the Entrepreneur, you can do so on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube at b.the.entrepreneur.com. Today, I am super excited to have one of my favorite people on, Vivian Page. She is such a sweet person. She's so amazing. She's so transparent. And she's one of those people that you can literally talk to about anything. And she's understanding, she's open, and she's always there to give you feedback, whether you want criticism, whether you want to just to listen to. She's one of those that you can call on for any of those things. And I feel like that is literally the first step when creating your protecting your energy. Having positive people around you that you can depend on, to lean on at those times where you're feeling weak. And let me tell you something, this entrepreneurial journey, the weakness is real. Like it's times where you just feel like, you feel depleted. You've given all you can to your business. You're still not making money. People still may not be booking. So it's important that you have that entrepreneur tribe to kind of keep your energy going because there are going to be low points. And sometimes even the strongest entrepreneurs can't pull themselves out. So having a great support system is always important. So some of the topics we'll be covering today is identifying the source of your professional energy. We're going to be talking about the importance of personal check-ins. And for me, I'm going to say self-care because I'm like the self-care queen. I take it serious. And lastly, we're going to talk about evaluating your circles and connections. Sometimes people have a habit of connecting with people due to longevity, family members, so on and so forth. And they feel like because you have this in place that you have to stay connected with these people. And today we're going to talk about why that is a toxic trait that you don't have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm super excited to kind of talk about that today. So just a little bit about me and my agency. As I said, I'm Brandy Fox and I own Be the Entrepreneur Consultant Agency. And we specialize in strategizing, implementing, and empowering aspiring entrepreneurs by streamlining the startup process and give you that one-on-one support to take your business from a business vision all the way to a profit-making business. Some of the programs that we do have in place to kind of help you out as you are growing your business are our How to Start a Business in, excuse me, How to Start a Business in 30 Days ebook series. This ebook series is out now and it's perfect for an entrepreneur who is already started a business, but you're kind of like, I want to pivot my business model, or, I just want to, it's a certain area within my business that I may need to work on. Like you might not be aware of your competition and how to compete with your competition. We have our book, SWOT analysis, that teaches you how to analyze and how to do a market competition analysis so you can know what you need to do to compete effectively in your market. We also have our Institute of Entrepreneurship. This is a digitally paced online curriculum that you can go through at your own time. This is perfect for the entrepreneur that's like, you know what, I feel like I got a hang of this entrepreneur thing. I just need a little bit more assistance on some of those areas that I might not be as familiar with. This curriculum is, like I said, step by step, and it walks you literally directly through the process of starting your business from making your vision plan to business analysis, getting your budgets together, everything. That program will be launching next Friday, March 26th at 6:30 p.m. And we will be doing a live showing of that here on Facebook. Next, we have our Be the Entrepreneur Academy. If you've watched our show, you know that this is my baby. I'm super excited about it. This is our one-on-one learning academy where you have the ability to go have a mentor to walk you through each step of the entrepreneur phase. That includes your competitive analysis. That includes having a accountant to help you with your finance and your startup budget. We have a pitching expert to help you learn how to pitch your business to get funding. There is a lot of money out here, y'all. There's a lot of money for new entrepreneurs. If you even have good ideas, people are giving money for it. But where people are falling short is they don't have the proper business plan in place and they don't know how to articulate their business model. If you cannot tell other people what your business is, it's no way they're going to be able to support it because they don't know what you do. They don't know what your mission is. So by going through the Be the Entrepreneur Academy, it's a 4-month series, but we walk you through everything. You will have the ability to take your business vision. We'll walk you through it. And then by the time you finish our program, you'll have a full business that is up and running. And that's only in 4 months. And you have that one-on-one support. That program will be dropping next Friday as well. I'm so happy. So make sure y'all stay tuned. If you have not subscribed, please go to www.betheentrepreneur.com so you can get the notification when all of these programs drop so you can sign up and get that business started that you've been thinking about. It's time to get moving on it. And lastly, we have Be the Tribe. Be the Tribe, that's like my little baby. Be the Tribe is for people who like, entrepreneurship sound good. I'm thinking about it, but I ain't trying to make that move right now. Be the Tribe is your own pace. We send you out monthly templates that you can work on to kind of build your business. It's perfect for people who are working full time and they have an idea or they might have a hobby that they're doing on the side, but you like, hey, you know what? This might could be a business. Let me take my time and see what's up. So that program is for you. Lower pace, perfect for you guys who are working full time. So moving on to today, what you can expect today is, of course, our free Be the Entrepreneur consultation giveaway at the end of the show. So at the end of every show, we ask that you share any post that we have. And with that, the first person that shares, they get a free 30-minute consultation with me to pick my brain about anything startup-wise. If you're trying to figure out how to plan better, how to, get your business plan together, I can definitely help you with all those startup needs. But you cannot do it until the end of the show, which is at 7 o'clock. Lastly, we're going to be focused on organic solution-based discussions. So outside of talking about what the issue is, what we're going to be doing is really focusing on giving you action-based solutions. So we're not just going to say, hey, protect your energy. We're going to say protect your energy by doing this. I feel like it's a lot of people out here that's kind of giving just information, but they're not really telling people how to do what they need to do to become better entrepreneurs. So our goal is to really give you steps that can help change how you move your business and change how you plan to move your business. Lastly, please note that this is a live session and we take Q&A throughout the whole thing. So if there's anything that we say, that we mention, or something that we overlook that you having a question about, please do not hesitate to drop something in our comment area. We are active, we will respond, and we want to know what you guys are thinking so we can make sure that we get you guys the answers that you need to become better people and, of course, better entrepreneurs, because that is my love. So I am super duper excited to add Miss Vivian Page. Hey, girl.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. Yeah, girl, we out here. Another Talking Out session. Talking Out session. So thank you so much for joining me tonight, Vivian. When I came up with this topic, I was like, you were literally the first person in my head because I know that energy and protecting your energy and staying in a good headspace, those are one of your top priorities. So when I thought of this, I was like, I gotta get Vivian on this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with your quote. When you come on the show, we ask everybody to provide us with a quote that really defines them personally and on an entrepreneur level. So Vivian's quote is, "Not my own words, but best stated this way: faith without works is dead." I love it. And girl, this is so real because everybody wants stuff without working for it.
Okay.
So tell us why you chose that and why that was an important quote for you.
Yeah, there's so many things that, so many quotes that I love, but this one in this moment in my life and time is really speaking to me because I don't know. I think this idea of this generation believes that things are popcorn, that it's instant and, the earnings are going to be, automatic. And I believe that, that can happen if you have a great foundation. If you pursue, your business by working with Be the Entrepreneur, yeah, it can happen a lot sooner than, a lot of people. But I believe that we forget that aspect of working and working hard and really just putting in, the time that it takes. I think you are able to appreciate things more. We learned that growing up, when we got to do a little more, we got to do our chores or, that same aspect, putting in that work makes that reward twice as glorious. And it also helps you appreciate it and work harder for more, so, yeah.
I totally agree. And I love it because I feel like you said, we in the instant gratification. And I think that even comes with entrepreneurs. Like when I consult new people, the first thing they say is, my Instagram ain't popping. I ain't got enough followers. I ain't got enough book. And I'm like, well, how long you been in business? They're like, yeah, 3 months. 3 months. I'm like,
do you really expect? That's the idea, is that it's supposed to happen like that. And unfortunately, they got to learn how to move past it because it ain't real. They lied to you.
They lied to you. And honestly, I think it's the internet. The internet has this like instant glorification. Like one thing goes viral and everybody's like, oh my gosh, I can do that too. One idea, y'all, that is a phenom. Phenom. That is not something that happens on a daily basis. You really want something. And for me, I love to work for something. I actually prefer to work for something than for it to be given to me because I'm like, if I work for it, I know I really want it.
Exactly.
So what I also like to do with my guests is talk about, of course, how we met. So girl, we met actually at the voluntary at my voluntary exchange, my investment group that I'm in. You came to one of our meetups back in the day at the epicenter was popping.
How long ago was that?
I know. That was like
I don't remember.
5 years.
Yeah, I think it's been longer because we were still dating. Yeah, it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, girl, time
it feels like forever, that we've known each other. But yeah, I met Brandy through my husband. They went to school together, and of course, they had a
West
group.
Dubsy.
That's all I hear, Dubsy. But I met Brandy that way, and we've been in cahoots ever since. I just, and instantly I felt that vibe. Like she's so down to earth and cool. I like her.
I'm excited. That's how I felt too.
So we've grown. We've really grown as individuals.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for growth. So, Vivian, as we transition into the discussions of the evening, like I said, I feel like protecting your professional energy, I feel like is a concept that's overlooked until a entrepreneur gets to the point where they're so stressed out, they have so many buckets that they're in that they either break down, shut down, or they just get into a bad space. So, what I want to talk about first is identifying the source of your professional energy. What does that look like for you?
For me, there's different steps. So there's levels to this thing. One of the main things for me is just really knowing how I feel. And I know we'll get to that. It's under the personal check-ins, but knowing, when I'm having a moment, knowing when I need to take a break, and knowing what I need to do to get me back to that place where I feel inspired and I feel motivated. So it's a constant check-in and constant conversation with myself. And for example, this week I have gotten to a point where I felt a little overwhelmed, and I'm very vocal. So I will talk about it and I'll say it like, okay, I'm getting to that point. And I'll say it out loud. Whereas some people are very quiet. They may not, they may not say it that way or vocalize it in that way. But I know for me, my professional energy and protecting that is that cycle and making sure that I'm continuously checking in with myself. So that's a big thing for me. Yeah.
Definitely. And I'm the same way. I think being vocal is important, like, because I feel like the first step to anything is just kind of admitting it. And I know for me,
Hmm.
like, I work and like I have a systematic or organized chaos lifestyle. Like, it works. Like, it's
Yeah.
not really chaotic, but it's like I love the energy and the rush of like doing multiple things. Like, it's like, yep, I'm rolling this, I'm rolling this, we
Girl.
rolling. But then, like, just like we talked about before, preparing for this be the entrepreneur, I mean, be the academy launch next week. I'm like, I feel like everything is like closing in on me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
preparing for this launch, growing Pamper Us. It just can be a lot. And I know for me, one of the first things I do when I get overwhelmed is I take a nap, girl. That's literally
That's a
like,
good one. That's a good one. Yes, I'm having you
I take
jump
a
in and
nap.
remind people. Naps are good and they're great.
They are. And for some reason, when I take a nap, I feel like refreshed. And what I've taught my body, like I went to this incubator program a while ago, City Startup Labs, amazing Henry Rock plug.
Yeah.
Um, so when I went to it, like the guys that were training us at one of the events that we did, he was talking about how they had mastered the power of 30-minute power naps. And I'm like, at that time, I'm like, bruh, when I lay down for a nap, I need a minimum an hour to get my body right. But they was like, no, it's like a scientific, like, mental thing. Don't get me lying, I ain't gonna quote you, but they were saying it's scientific that if you can sleep like exactly 25 to 30 minutes, that's the perfect amount of time to recharge your body without getting to that lethargic. Like, you know how sometimes if you sleep a little too long, you still feel groggy? They were
Hmm.
like that 25 to 30-minute mark is the perfect time for you to get a nap, recharge your body, and get going. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? All right, I be doing a lot. I get up at 4. I work all the way to 11, 2 kids, sports, life, all that stuff.
Wow.
So with that girl, but I love it though. I wouldn't change it. But I say that to say I was like, I'm gonna try this 30-minute nap. And y'all, every day around between 2:30 and 3:30, I take a 30-minute nap. And like when I say that's the only way I'm able to make it to 11, it's so amazing. Like I literally set my alarm for 30 minutes. I literally clear my mind. I lay in the bed. I don't touch nothing. I go to sleep. I wake up and I'm like, I'm ready. So I think adults overlook the power of a nap. Like they like, if I take a nap, I'm out, or I'm too old for a nap. But you need a nap, especially if you're trying to work 2 jobs.
Never,
Yes, yes. Do you take
never too
naps?
old. Yeah, I do. Sleep when the baby sleeps, but I
Yeah,
try.
girl.
I'm usually up when she's sleeping, to be honest with y'all. But I do take a nap when I feel like, okay, I'm gonna need something to make it to later on. So yeah, I definitely take naps, and they do make a difference. I may try that. I may try that 30-minute because I've really never heard that. And, I always think naturally I need more than that, but
Mm-mm.
I'm definitely going to try.
Yeah, try the 30
Yeah.
minutes. As soon as you lay down, set your alarm for exactly 30 minutes out and like literally clear your mind, girl. I lay there like a little, well, I lay on my stomach, but I'll be like, like that, girl, out, slobber everything out. Like I've
And
been
it's
out.
good.
It's good. But outside of that, I know when I think about the source of professional energy, another thing for me is legitly like my goals. My
Mm,
goals really are a foundation of my professional energy because I feel like when I get too tired, like even with this launch, like it's been times where I'm like, I'm gonna push this date back. I'm gonna give myself more time, but I'm like, no, like, I set a
good.
goal and my goal literally is like my coffee for some reason. Like when I get focused on it, I'm like, no matter how tired I am,
Mm-hmm.
I really push it and it gives me my boost.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work for you? What are other ways outside of like napping and goal orientation that you use for you to kind of get a boost when you're feeling down?
Definitely my goals when I look at it, I'm a visual person. So I have things up on the wall. I have like, steps and what it would look like if I keep on the track that I am. Trust me, I've had my moments too where I'm like, okay, I need to push this back or this is not working because it's too much. But I get a boost from seeing the goals. I also get a boost from just, my love language is words of affirmation. So hearing, encouragement from people or like, just reassurance that may be something I've said that people are like, man, thank you for doing this. Or, even just getting words from friends or family or my husband, that gives me a boost. And then also just, honestly, right now, looking at my baby, I think that that's a great motivation too. Just like, what are you doing it for? Revisiting that why is big. Uh, y'all hear?
Oh, it's all right, girl. It be like that. It be like that. No, I agree. My kids as well, because I know with doing this entrepreneur journey and having kids, balance is it can be so crazy. And like sometimes I beat myself up because I'm like, dang, like I'm working all day. Like I'm like, okay, let me take 30 minutes. Let me just take an hour, even if we just play the game for a little bit, I'll take them
Yeah.
somewhere. And when we get together, like sometimes like sometimes when you take a break, you feel like kind of taking you away from your work. But what I realize, especially with adding more things to my plate, is when I take a break, and doing things like with my kids or just taking a nap, it recharges me. It's like, this is why I'm doing it. See my kids
Yeah.
tell me that, they proud of me, or, like my daughter be like, go ahead, big money. That's what she like to call me. I don't know what y'all do, but that's what she call
So
me
cute.
though. Yeah. So, they really push me. They really keep me,
Mhm.
focused. They really keep me like, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for me, but it's really for them, of course, to leave that legacy,
Yeah.
as well. And I feel like the other thing that's really important when protecting your energy is avoiding burnout. I
Mm-hmm.
have so many entrepreneurs that get to the point of burnout. Like I've consulted with people that's like, Brandy, I ain't got nothing left. Like thinking about
Wow.
not doing it. Yeah, like thinking about stopping their business because they just so burnt out. They feel like they've done everything they could and their business is still not growing. What
Well,
are
yeah.
some tips that you can give for that?
Well, that was one thing I wanted to touch on because again, we look at society and what it's telling us and the internet and everything. But honestly, I go against the grain. Grind culture is unhealthy. It's not cute. People running around saying, oh, y'all not making money, because you're sleeping while I'm working while you're sleeping. Well, that's fine. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to get my rest, first of all, because people who get rest and get sleep, are going to be more alert and able to run their business. This perpetuating idea that, oh, you got to grind hard to get your business off the ground. Yes, but what does grinding look like to you? It has to be some kind of limitation to it. Because if you have several people, Brandy, that are telling you, oh, I don't know if I can keep going, or, that's terrible. They've gone beyond their limit because they had this idea that I got to do this and push myself to the maximum in order to, be successful. And it's a lie. And I hate that people, especially us in the Black community, feel like that's what we have to do. And so one of the things to avoid that, as far as going negating against grind culture, is having a system or having a plan in place.
Mm-hmm.
Asking yourself, what does a good day look like for me? If you're a full-time entrepreneur, for example, like you mentioned, you get up at 4, you're up at 4, you're working till 11, write it out. Write out what a productive and good day looks like to you. Include breaks in between, however often you need to, even if it's 5 minutes to step away. Because one thing is like sitting at a laptop and, type in and like continually just being in front of a screen is not healthy either. So I think that even stepping away for 5 minutes helps you refresh, get your mind back, and then you can get back in the game. But just write out, what your day would look like. I think that helps you focus, and also gives you a moment to say, okay, I'm not going to be here until 11 or 12 and, feel like I haven't gotten anything done. And when you're, it's midnight and you're like, okay, I still need to work more, that's pushing you to that burnout spot. And so
Mm-hmm.
knowing when you have a start and stop, we trade in the 9 to 5 for 24 hours, they say.
Girl,
But
girl.
you have to know that there's a point you have to cut it off because you have to maintain yourself. Going back to identifying that source, of your professional energy, you want to be your best self. And so you can't be presenting, you can't want people to, buy your product or, invest in you. And you looking toe up, you looking, your eyes got bags. You cannot function that way. So I just feel like you have to look at what a productive day looks like, and then also know your maximum limitations and stop. So yeah.
Right. I totally agree. That stopping point is really important. When I get to the point where like no other ideas, because I'm real idea oriented. Like, girl, I be eating thinking about stuff. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, girl. And I run in the room, right on my dry erase board, girl. Like, I'm
Yes,
always thinking. So when my brain,
that's
when I'm looking at my computer screen on my phone and nothing is like stirring, that's my red flag. So I think another important thing is knowing your trigger points.
yes,
Everything is different for some
music.
people. You know what I'm saying? So as you're working, especially when you're pushing, and for my people who are trying to transition into full-time entrepreneurship, that threshold between that 6 months, like between transitioning, leaving your full-time and going into like full-time entrepreneurship, y'all, it's gonna be one of the hardest 6 months of your life. I'm not
Yeah,
even gonna lie. Because
get
you're
ready.
literally a full-time entrepreneur and you a full-time employee at the same time.
Same time.
And this really is a time period where you really have to focus and hone in. And I feel like communication is key. And I talked about this last week about communicating with your family, the people that live in your house with you. It's important that you communicate with them about where you're at. Like, I'm very good. I wasn't before, but I've done really well at communicating with my kids about what's going on. Like, I told them this month, I was like, Mommy got a big launch next week. I said, so this month, I said, we're not going to be going a lot of places and doing a lot of stuff that we normally do. And I said, I'm probably going to be on the computer a lot more than normal. I said, as soon as April 1st hit and we on spring break, baby, we on vacation. We
Let's
back in it.
go.
Yeah, let's go. So because I feel like that's something like in my past question, I feel like that's something that I didn't do well. I didn't really communicate what I was doing. I just kind of like push forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just kept
Yeah,
going and going and going and not really communicate. Okay, I'm doing this. This is like, you see me working, you know why I'm working. But when
you
you
know I'm working.
communicate with your family members and let them know why you're doing it, how long, and when you'll be back home. My kids was like, okay, my son was like, okay, April. He looked at the calendar, he's like, April, got it. And on April 1st, best believe Preston is gonna be, Mom, it's April. You know what I'm saying? He don't play. He don't play. In addition, I put time restraints. So like even with my kids,
Yes,
it's important to put a time restraint. So like I tell them like when we have family time, I'll be like, all right, set the OK Google for 7 p.m. And it's out there in the living room with them. So when they go off at 7, they know what's up. They 5-7. And they lets me know that I have about 15. They give me a 15-minute grace period. So that means I got 15 minutes to wrap up and come out there and spend time with them. So,
that's
if you
beautiful.
talk to them, yeah, it worked, girl, it works. And it lets them know that I care about how they feel, that even though I'm working on my business, that's still a priority for me. And I feel like that's something that I lacked before. I didn't really know how to separate it. Like, I'm so focused that if I got something going on, I'm going straight head for it. So, with my kids and growing them, I just want to always let them know they're a priority for me, even though I may be busy doing something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that, especially for
Thank you.
the many entrepreneurs that are trying to figure out how to balance it and make sure that they make time for their kids, and get away from that mom guilt. That's really a lot
It's real.
what women deal with. I'm not sure. I think that there's dad guilt too, but I think they handle it a little differently. But yeah, that helps a lot for parents that are trying to figure out, how do I do this and still make time for my kids and do it all. It's tough.
It is. And I know we were talking about before about the creating a plan and starting a schedule. So as I told y'all before, our goal is always to create action-based steps, things that you guys can do at home to really get your schedule, get your life together as far as an entrepreneur. So one thing that I would say, and you can catch it in our comments, is the importance of breaking down your day by the hour.
By the hour.
So people get overwhelmed with first of all, if you're not using your Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, if you don't have some type of calendar organization system, that would be the first thing that you need to be put in place. As an entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, your calendar should be like your best friend. I don't make any plans without checking my calendar first, legitly. So if you don't have a calendar or calendar systems, I would suggest getting that first. Start using your calendar and really start putting your items into your calendar. So for me, I break my day down by the hour for the most part. So I wake up in the morning. I'm like, okay, what's on my schedule for the day? I check it in. And from there, I kind of add in other stuff. I know that around lunchtime, I'm taking that off with my kids at home so I can cook, make sure they're good. And I know I do another check in about 3 to 4. play some games with them, come back and work, and I know that at 8 o'clock I'm shutting down the day regardless, until they go to bed at 9:30, and then I come back. So that helps me because I make them a priority. I put my kids in first. Well, my of course business and work is in there just because I have it. Then I make sure my kids are in there next, and then everything else kind of falls in between that. So start by breaking your day down by the hour and prioritizing your day. What is the top, if you're a full-time entrepreneur, what is the top three things that I have to get done by the end of the day today? And if you do it like that, it makes it so much easier to manage your day. That's what I do. I'm like, I got it. And I use sticky notes. If you see my laptop, y'all, I mean, my computer, my desk, I got sticky notes everywhere. But it's like, I know when it worked, girl. Those sticky notes is a blessing. I literally break it down. I'm like, all right, Brandy, by the end of the day today, you have to get these three tasks done. And not like, no matter what else get done, these have to be done. Then after I have those three tasks, I have kind of my like flexible tasks. Like, okay, if I don't get to this, it's all right. Let's do tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to get to it. So when you start prioritizing your day by what's important instead of trying to get as much in as you can, it gives you more control over your schedule. It gives you more control over your time, and it helps with that overwhelming feeling. Because like I know I like to control my lifestyle. So for me, I'm on it. Like, yep, girl, 3 o'clock I'm open. Sunday I'm off. Let's go to happy hour. Let's go mimosas. Let's go get some brunch. I'm all for all that because I know that I have the schedule. In addition, it allows you to make time for other things that are important and fun for you.
Yeah.
So how do you normally organize your day, Vivian? Because I know you do a lot. You have businesses, you writing books, you're a social media manager. So I know that can be a lot for you. So what does your day usually look like?
Every day is a little different for me. I recently kind of have my little baby on a schedule. She's 7 months, so I know her nap times. I know when she's ready to to eat. So I'm kind of getting there. But for the past few months, I've been fitting it in where I can. So a typical day would look like waking up a little earlier than she gets up. That ideally I would get up a little earlier than her. I would do some work, kind of look at emails, look at what I need to get done for the day or what's due. I try to give myself a day or two before like a deadline. If I have a deadline for example, an article or like for things that are required for a client I'm working with, then, of course, I'm going to put that at the top. So I would do that first thing early in the morning because I know once she wakes up, she's going to need my time, at least for, a couple hours playing with her. And then once she goes, it's nap times are my work time. So just to cut it short. And in the evening, so I'm kind of up late when I can and when I feel that I have the energy to do it. I'm up later in the evening, and that's when I do my best work and have my best thoughts. And because everybody sleeps.
Girl, I'm my body get weak.
So I think we're like opposites. Like I know you're early bird and you can get it up, and that's one of my
goals. I'm in there. Mm-hmm.
That's one of my goals, kind of switch that. But I'm a night owl right now, so if I can do it and I press forward, I'm working at night to try to get things done and line my next day up. So I always kind of write out in my planner. I'm old school, y'all. So I have a planner and I write it out and I just say, these are the things that I want to get done tomorrow. And then you have those things that aren't necessarily due, but you want to try to get a head start on them. But of course, prioritizing. So that's what my day looks like. And I like a fantastic ideal day would be, waking up earlier in the morning, getting work done, working during nap times. And then, of course, we have our time in the evening when my husband gets home from work and, doing our thing. So making time for family.
Girl, family is always more important, girl. Girl, don't play Duolingo over here. And I don't even use Duolingo, girl.
You got time for Duolingo too?
Girl, no, I'm lying, girl. No, I don't. I tried it. It's just I ain't got the time. I just like listen to stuff in Spanish, and then I just use a lot of key terms with my kids and stuff. They're real receptive. They let me practice.
Muy bien. Muy bien.
Gracias. So let's move on to personal check-ins.
Okay.
What does a personal check-in look like for you?
For me, personal check-in definitely is going to be, how am I feeling externally and then internally. So I do a check-in, in the morning. I'm a mood person, so I operate off mood. I might, say, oh, I don't feel like, getting dressed up, or if I feel like getting dressed up, I'll do that. Kind of just depends on my mood. So my check-ins would be, how am I feeling? Am I feeling, for one, like encouraged, inspired? Am I feeling great as far as my health? And, that could be like weekly, that could be, every other day or something. If I'm on a good flow and I'm feeling great, and that's usually my mood. I don't really have to check in that often. It's just maybe certain things, in our lives, situations happen, or people come around that may affect our mood or things like that. And so we always have to go back in and center and check ourselves. So I'll have a check-ins then, but for the most part, I will kind of just have my little self-talk in the morning. I have affirmations that I say to myself. I love that. I mean, it's always an I am statement, or, if I want to accomplish something or get something done, I'm saying it to myself that I've done it already. And then just doing things that are good for my health on a regular basis. So if I'm drinking my water, if I'm eating healthy, if I'm, just, get a little exercise in. I try to go on my walks when I can. That makes me feel good too. So that's another check-in. If I'm doing those things on a consistent basis, I'm good to go. So it falls in line with my work as well. If I'm able to take care of myself, I'm able to be excellent in my work as well. So
I agree. And I love how you talk about like walking. People overlook the importance of exercise as an entrepreneur. And when I say exercise, I'm not saying like, you got to go out here and go hard, but some type of physical exercise is actually, and I'll be following millionaires online and whatnot. There is no millionaire or wealthy person that I know, unless they're physically unable to, that does not do some type of form of physical exercise at
mhm.
least 4 to 5 times a week. That's legit. Like
Four to
everybody, if
five.
y'all
Wait.
4 to 5, most of them do some type of fit, whether and not anything specific, whether that be a hobby, that could be golf, swimming, like
Okay.
anything, not anything like not saying they go to the gym every day, but they
Uh-huh.
do some type of physical activity 4 to 5 times a week.
That's
You know
really
what I'm saying? It's
wow.
important. I mean, I know for me, I work out 5 times a week. It's part of like, I need
Yeah.
it. Like, if I go too long, like, after day 2 of not working out, I'm like, all right, I start getting the itch, girl.
You feel weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, let me get down here and do some push ups or something. Look, I'm like, my arm getting a little flabby. I'm like, Brady, you tripping. It's only been 2 days. I'm like, nah, look.
But that's great because it's become such a habit for you that it feels weird if you don't do it. And that's the level that you want to operate on, because exercise across the board, any doctor will tell you, if they're not going to tell you it's bad for you. So it's good for
Exactly.
you.
And one thing you said earlier that I wanted to follow back on was you were talking about being a night owl and me kind of be an early bird. I want y'all to know that whatever works, everybody is so different. Like when I've
Yeah.
been listening, when I read like about different like wealthy entrepreneurs and stuff, everybody is so different. Like there's entrepreneurs who work all night and then they sleep till like 12 and they might not start their day till a little bit later. And you
Wow.
got people like me, they get up at 4 and like we gone. So, when I say that there's no like cookie cutter way to do it. You really have to go with your body. I've never been a night owl. Like if I'm not doing something active about 10:30, 11, baby, I'm taking it down. I'm taking it down. I've never, girl. I mean, never. I just never been able to really stay up.
Hmm.
So waking up early was just always easier for me. So whatever works for you guys, just remember, like, do what works for you. Don't feel like you need to fit in anybody's mold. If staying up late, if that's when your prime time is, that's when you need to work. If getting up early is when your prime time is, then you should get up early.
Yeah.
And one of the tips that I always give, if you are somebody that's looking to start waking up early, because I know I used to struggle with waking up early as I do. Like I started at 7 a.m. Like getting up at 7 a.m. back in the day, that was like my start time. Like I got up at 7, I worked. So as my body got used to getting up at 7, like you get to a point, your body gets to a point where it automatically wakes up with or without an alarm. So when I started getting up like 6:45, 7 without an alarm, I'm like, okay, well let's take it back 30 minutes. So I took my time down to 6:30. So I started setting my alarm for 6:30. And y'all, like literally, it probably takes my body about 2 months. So about every other month, I was able to take it down about 30 minutes. And like literally, y'all, it's crazy how your body just adapts. Like, so now my body naturally, unless I stay up past like my 11 o'clock bedtime, even then, my body naturally wakes up between 4 and 4:30. I don't even have to set an
Wow.
alarm. You know what I'm saying? So if you are
Well,
somebody who want to start training that, that's a good way. Listen to your body.
yeah.
Your body will tell you how you need to move and how you should move.
That's big. I wanted to also just provide maybe some ideas for people that are looking for like what is a check-in, what's something I could do during the day. And I thought about breathing techniques. So that's a big thing for some people. Just taking a few moments to concentrate on their breathing makes a difference in how your mood is, how you're thinking, even how you're processing things. Because again, a lot of us are in front of our screen, and so if we take a few minutes away from that and do some breathing techniques, that helps. Some people get up and stretch, do a little bit of yoga. Some people take a moment to meditate. That is difficult for me. I have so much going on in my head that I can't ever make it stop. But that may work for you. But meditation, concentrating on your breathing, doing a little bit of yoga or some stretching could be different types of check-ins that you could do during the day.
I agree. Breathing is something I just started. I wasn't really a breather. Even when I work out, girl, my trainers, all the trainers I've ever had, they always get on me about my breathing because I'm like, when it get real intense, like I'm holding my breath. I'm like, let me hold my breath and push through this thing. But I can say 2021, I started like breathing like when I felt myself like, because I get anxious and I can feel my heart rate start boom, boom, booming, like when I'm doing too much. So now when I feel it coming, I'm like, all right, girl, you got this. Take a little 5 minutes. And I like it. And it's crazy. Like, I'm like, dang, this breathing thing, like, it's so simple and it's free and it works. And you don't have to do it long. Like, you literally can breathe for about 5 minutes. And like, I can feel my whole body going to relaxation. My face relaxes. I feel my shoulders go down. My heart rate slows down. I'm like, shoot, I should have been breathing. Like, I'm up here holding my breath all my life. That's probably why I'm about to pass out every 5 minutes.
And you don't even think about it until you really think about breathing, that sometimes we may not be breathing during the day. So that is so interesting that you said that maybe for some time you probably weren't breathing because you were so focused on other things. And
I know I wasn't breathing right, and I knew I wasn't breathing right when I started breathing right. When I started practicing breathing techniques, I'm like, okay, this is how it's supposed to feel. I'm like, okay, like my lungs all extracting and compacting. I'm like, okay, we in here. Breathing do work. Okay, yoga people. I take back all the yoga jokes I made about how breathing is not, breathing don't work. I'm like, people just want to blow their breath on everybody. You know what I'm saying? All this breath in the air, but breathing really does work.
Yeah. So that's a good way to check in with yourself.
I do agree. Are there any other ways that you kind of personally check in that you utilize for yourself outside of breathing?
Yep. So just having, like, for example, we do like a check-in. Me and my husband's usually kind of when we have like business meetings, but again, I'm vocal and he's more of like he's really chill, so he doesn't really say too much until he's at his like max. But like you have like different check-ins. That's another type of partnership. Like say you have a business and you have a business partner, I think that it's important to just say little things. Of course, know their language, but you can do different check-ins like, for example, I just say, hey, you all right? You good? Lately our check-ins are like every other day, because we got a teething baby. I'm like, hey, you good? You all right?
Right. You're real.
But with a business partner, having a weekly, check-in, whatever works for you guys, even if it's a lunch meeting or something like that, would be great. Another check-in is like a time for you to celebrate. So maybe if you have a win, a certain week, or a small win, big win, I say celebrate all the time. So that's another check-in that you could do, is just give yourself a moment to celebrate. That's a check-in with yourself. I'm doing this.
People really, I'm glad you said that, self-celebration. Like, people overlook those small things that you do that you should praise yourself for. Like, you
Yes.
know, if you got a business and you just got your LLC, baby, everybody about to know. I'm about to tell everybody, you know, even if you just starting and you've
And if
confirmed
you,
your business name, like have a business name, y'all. It's so hard.
that's
It's so
big.
hard to come. It's big. This is your name. This is what people gonna know you for. If you came up with your perfect business name, baby, I'm good for a good shop dance. You know what I'm saying? And my kids already know what's up. They be like, "What's up, man? You got some more money?" They always think everything about money. They be like, got some more money. I'm like, well, you know, yes, I did, but you know, we doing this, you know. So
It's so
don't be
funny.
afraid to like praise yourself. Don't be afraid
Yes.
to like just be happy, y'all, because this everything, every step in this entrepreneur journey, y'all, it is hard. It can be really hard and tearing on you mentally, physically, emotionally, your
Yeah.
relationships. So every time you do something amazing, even if you ain't got nobody to share it with, you know what? Hey, look, I'm always, hey, I'm everybody top supporter. Like, even if you want to jump in my inbox professionally and let me know, you gotta be clear on here. Even if you want to jump on my inbox and just be like, Brandy, like I have my clients, they update me all the time. I love when they send me pictures. Like
Wow.
when they get their business registered, they send me a picture. They're like, oh my gosh, Brandy, like, you know, my business registered. Like for somebody that's been in the game for a minute, that might seem small. But if you've been thinking about this business for 5 years and you just got it registered, baby, you want the first step. So if
That's
you ain't
it.
got nobody to encourage you, y'all inbox me your good news and I will be your partner. I will be
Come
your praise
on.
partner. I will be here for you because I want to see everybody win and I want you to know that everything that you do, you deserve to be everything great that you do. You deserve to like praise yourself. And I hope that when you get that you give that type of love and support to others as well. We all need it.
Come on now. That's a great segue into number three, Brandy.
Come on. We segue in this thing, baby.
Ooh, that was hot. That was hot. You know, so I want to celebrate with you too. I love that. That's my thing. Like, I know how hard
Mm-hmm.
it is, and I know it's easy to get down. And I know some individuals who don't really have that circle. They don't have a group of friends or someone that's along this journey with them. And so it can be really difficult. And so I think that if you know somebody that's willing to get up and shout with you, or just talk with you, continue to encourage, reach out to them. You guys reach out to me. I'm the pusher, I'm the encourager. I will love on you. I will
She's really
send you
good at it.
it's a natural thing. It's not work for me. So I would love to continue to push you guys, because I don't want anybody to give up. I know how hard it is.
No, it's so easy to give up too, especially when you do it, especially when that money ain't looking right, girl. And you've
Man,
been doing this thing, and you like, I know, y'all, you gotta push through it because I'm telling you, if you push through it, I tell all of my entrepreneurs, there when you start your business, not saying you're gonna make a lot of money, but there should be some type of small form of income that you're making. Not saying even if it's like $200 a month. You know what I'm saying? There should be, if you set your business up right, and I'm being legit, and the people that I've consulted, because I've consulted people that have been amazing. They went through my program or worked with me, and they're literally running amazing businesses and making money. And I have people that's like work with me, and they just didn't move forward. And I ain't
yeah,
gonna lie, in the beginning, I used to beat myself up about it because I'm all about like 5 stars. Like I'm all about 100%. Like I want everybody I work with to be amazing. And what one of my entrepreneur friends told me was like, you can like, it's only so much you can do. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It's only so much you can give people. And it's a point where they have to take responsibility for their actions and moving forward. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So I think it's always important, like we talked about before, to kind of make sure that you in the right mind space to kind of keep pushing, even when it is looking hard, it's no light at the end of the tunnel. It's a light at the end of the tunnel, baby. You just got to get to the end of the tunnel.
yeah. And so it's so important to surround yourself with those like-minded people, the go-getters that are on that journey with you. Even if you may not know them well, get in a group, get in a Facebook group. You guys can, reach out to Be the Entrepreneur. You can reach out to me, and you guys can, be connected with some other people that are on that same journey with you. It's a whole nother conversation. It's a whole nother vibe when you have people that are like, okay, they're experiencing the same things. And so there's a whole group and tribe for you out there. So it's all about your connections, the connections you make. And as you continue to put yourself out there, it seems to come naturally. Brandy, can you kind of talk about that a little bit? How you just meet people and you build relationships, it just happens.
It do. I'm good at it. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm really good at like meeting people and creating connections.
You
Like,
talk to
literally.
everybody.
Yeah, I do. I do. But it's because I'm an energy reader too. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
can feel it. Like, I'm a real big fan of like gut feeling. Like, I don't really go against my gut. And that's why I feel like a lot of things that I do, it works. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
even if I move quickly, and sometimes I do, always listen to your gut. If I meet somebody and feeling kind of off or something a little off, it don't matter what it is. I know for me that this is somebody, either I'm gonna put them in a certain area of my life, or
Mm-hmm.
this is somebody I'm not gonna deal with at all. And it's all right to have friend buckets, or professional buckets, relationship buckets. I got people that I literally only talk to about business. I got people that I business and friendships. I got people that I travel with. Don't be afraid to put people in buckets. That way, you know where you're giving your energy. So those friends, or not even friends, those associates that you have, everybody need the homegirls. Your homegirls that might not be entrepreneurs, they might not be moving and shaking. You still need them too, because these are your fun friends. These are your girls who's
Right.
gonna take your mind off of it when you've been stressed out. And I've seen a lot of times where people have like elevated or changed, and they try to literally like eliminate their whole crew or eliminate people. Like they like out with the old, in with the new. No, baby, you got to keep those. You got to keep those people with you, because everybody serves a purpose. And like I said, go with your gut. When I meet somebody, if we talking, and I'm a good listener as well. I like to talk, but I'm good at listening, especially when I first meet somebody. So I'm listening to some of the key words. A lot of people overlook listening when they're meeting new people. I listen to the words that people say. Like when people say like I'm passionate, or I feel great, or I'm devoted, I'm committed, those type of determined. When I hear those kind of words, I'm like, okay, all right, that sounds good. I like that. That lets me know that I might not know you enough to know we all the way here, but for you to have just met me and for these key words to be the first words that you're displaying to me, that lets me know that those are kind of words to a certain extent that are important to you as well. So I'm like, even if we don't move forward, I know we can at least bust out this conversation and might move to a second conversation because we have the same values.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what works for me. And I feel like nine out of 10 of the relationships I've established professionally and personally, most of the time they work out because I go with my gut.
Yeah. That's a word.
That's a word. That's a word.
Go with your gut.
Let's talk about and I know me and you have talked about this before, on a personal level, but let's talk about the importance of cutting off toxicity.
Okay.
As you know, everybody, look, she's like, okay,
Um,
I want every entrepreneur out here to know everybody is not going to support you. And that's not, it's not because they don't want to. It's not, for some people it might be, but for some people, they just really do not know how to support other people when they're not in the space that they want to be in.
yeah.
So I think it's always important to know that when you engage with toxic people, or you feel like people that don't align to you, that that you understand it's okay to cut them off. Because when you're moving through this entrepreneur journey, you need positive people. You need people that's going to
Yeah.
feed you on a positive level. And if you don't have that one bad seed, y'all, even if you got a million amazing positive people, if that one bad seed is in your close circle, it's going to be really hard for you to move the way you want to move. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of almost like a virus. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's
It
kind of
is.
around, then it starts getting in you. The next thing you know, it's spreading. And then you get to a point where you have all these amazing things happening and you can't even enjoy it because you either have a
Yeah.
toxic situation or a toxic person within you. Um, how do you feel about that? How have you done with toxic relationships or friendships, professional relationships that you've had to cut off just because it didn't feed to your positive energy and where you were going?
Yeah, for some time I really struggled with it, to be honest. I'm naturally a people pleaser. I want to make sure everybody's good, everybody's happy with me. That's just been my nature growing up. And I had to get away from that as I got older and I started doing things and working professionally. I realized that everybody's not going to be happy for you. Everybody's not going to think that what you're doing is a cool thing. And then how you read people is really big. You may take offense to something and they may say, I didn't mean it that way. So again, it comes really down to communication, having those tough conversations with people and letting them know, hey, my expectations may have been that you would show up for me, that you would be there for me, that you would be in my corner because I held you to this expectation, but you weren't. And then you have to be open and ready for that rebuttal or that reaction. Having those difficult conversations are important. So I've had my share. For me, it's been more personal. So the expectation has been for family to support me. Those are your number one day ones. And I've always felt like, man, where y'all at? I got people, that don't even know me that, they're my number one fan. And then where y'all? That was my expectation in my mind. It didn't make sense to me, but I had to get out of that and realize that some people are not going to be as happy for you as you think that they should be. Leave them in that space. And then if you want to have a conversation, do that. If you don't have to either. Just accept it. It is what it is. Continue doing what you need to do. That support, those people that you need, that tribe, and that audience is going to show up for you regardless. Just continue to work. It's hard to push through and fight through that. And when it's people that are close to you, but there are going to be people that are toxic. There are going to be frenemies.
Oh, girl, them the ones right there, girl. Them the ones.
Watching you, and they're along for the ride. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you acting funny. Like, what did I do? I've always taken it personally. That's another thing. Get out your feelings when it comes to business. You cannot take it personally or you ain't going to be able to run your business. My husband taught me that. He is so cool. He just be like, it's all good.
Yep. All right. Mario.
And I just be like, but wait, what? We don't have time for that. We trying to get this bag. You trying to do this over here. We don't have time to focus on that. So again, it takes work and it takes, I think it takes a concentration and understanding of how people work in their mind, like you had mentioned earlier, sometimes just people are not going to be open to it if they're not in a place they want to be in their own lives. And that's unfortunate, but it's not your problem. And so you have to just keep going,
I totally agree. I love it. The key with any business is even people even when you get into business and you get bad reviews, for Pamper Us, I got a 4.9. I've had 5 stars for 9 years, girl. 9 years I had 5 stars. Then last year when COVID hit, it got all crazy. I got my first not 5 stars. And I cried. It took when I went on Google and that thing said 4.9, I literally I canceled the rest of my day, girl. And I went and I sat in this bed and I cried. I cried and I cried. I was really beating myself up. I'm like, dang, 9 years of 5 stars. And then the thing that made it worse was that it was the client. She did something wrong on her end. But everybody don't want to take accountability. So I was beating myself up over this one client. I'm like, I can't believe it. This is the end of Pamper Us. We not excellent no more. So, and this is a time where I say it's important. Now that I think about it, I'm like, girl, you is crazy. I'm like, what is wrong? If I was a fly on the wall, I'm like, this girl is unstable.
But you had a moment.
Right, I had a moment. And I don't really have too many moments. So I knew that was important to me. But this is why it's important to have a tribe. My assistant, Yvonne, she's so amazing. She's older than me. She's kind of like a mom, big sister, mentor. She's really calm like Mario too. So she really keeps me like that. So I remember when I called her and I was crying. I was like, I got my first not 5 star. Pamper Us is 4.9 online. I don't know what we gonna do. She was like, Brandy. She said, you got 6 reviews on here. She said, you got 1 not 5 star. She said, have you ever been on Google and looked at a business and be like, it got 4.9, I'm not going to use them. And I thought about it. I'm
That's
like, nah,
real.
I'm
That's
like, shoot, if
real.
I see anything in the fours, like, I'm saying you down. She was like, okay then. She was like, she was just telling me how people are not expecting perfection, but they are expecting like quality and they expecting what they pay for. So she said, we're not
Yeah.
perfect. If you fall short, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? We just got to learn from those mistakes and make sure they don't become a reoccurring issue. But
Yeah.
to understand that we are human, we fall short. I'm so glad that I called her and talked to her about that because I probably would have still been wallowing in my bed, not growing, not doing other things because I'm still focused on this one person that didn't give me 5 stars.
Yeah.
So I say that to say to circle back around, especially as we go into closing, it's important to know who the people are around you and who you can call. I have certain friends that give me love and affection when I call. So I know if I need a tender word, I call this friend.
Yeah.
If I know I'm ready to change my life and I need to get up out of this, I got a friend that I call and she gonna hold me accountable to everything. I got one friend that's just honest. I'm only calling her if I want to hear the truth. If I don't want to hear the truth, I want somebody to sugarcoat it, I don't call.
Yeah.
And that's how you gotta work it. You gotta really work this emotional roller coaster of entrepreneurship and use your resources and the people around you to help
Yeah.
you grow, become a better person and entrepreneur because your personal and your business, y'all, is like this. If your personal life is not together, your business life is not going to get together. I promise you that. That is a 100% guarantee.
It's a reflection.
It's a reflection. They go together. So Vivian, in closing, is there anything that you want to share with the people in reference to protecting your professional energy and the importance of it?
Yes. So lead with your heart. Honestly, do what you've been called to do. You know you have the ideas. I need you to get out there and go for it. Stop being afraid. There's been so many times I've heard people say, I'm not sure about this. And even me getting caught up in doubt. But we have to get out here and do this. There's somebody waiting on you to do this. There's somebody that needs your service product, that needs you and your words. So you got to get out there and do it. So just check yourself, check your heart, and then, watch who's around you and who's pouring into you. Make sure that it's a give and receive type of relationship. Sometimes that can drain us too. And we kind of touched a little bit on that. So I just say keep going for it. You guys got to get it out there and do it. And just continue to check in with yourself. You got it.
You got it, man. Literally, you
You got
got
it.
it. And like I
Yeah.
said, if the day get too crazy, just do what I do. Like if the
Take a
day get
day.
just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Literally,
Take a
girl. When it
day.
get too crazy, my kids know what's up. My daughter be like, "Go ahead, mom. I'm gonna go ahead and make her something. Like she'll take care. She'll knock the dinner out for me. Like she my little homie. That's my little right hand man. But they
Yeah.
know, like they know me enough to know when I need to. Like they're like,
Yeah.
mom, it's all right. Go to bed. And I pass out, and I wake up at 4. I'm like, what's up, baby? New day.
Let's
So
go.
um, as we prepare for our giveaway, I just want you guys to know if you have not subscribed, please go to www.betheentrepreneur.com. When you do subscribe, you get our straight to the market checklist. This is basically 8 steps to help you test your new business idea before you take it to the market. One thing that I hear so many entrepreneurs doing is they try to skip the whole foundational startup business process and they want to go straight to the market, invest all this money in shirts, pictures, websites, and then nobody buys. So once you subscribe on my website, you get this free guide on different ways that you can test your business to make sure that you have a target market that wants to buy it before you invest in it. It's so important to do this. It's so important, y'all. It's so important because sometimes
It really is.
it's not your product. Sometimes it's not your business. Sometimes it's just your audience. You know what I'm saying? It might not be a product that your audience needs. And you want to know that before you got it. Because if you have the world's most amazing back scratcher, I don't know how that's going to work because there's a lot of back scratchers out here. But this step right here, these free downloads, when you subscribe at www.betheentrepreneur.com, it's going to let you check what works and what doesn't work. And should you move forward with your business before you invest in it? So up next, we have our Talk It Out giveaway. So this is where, girl, I love these Talk It Out giveaways because this is where I meet some of my most amazing clients, like people who are just really hungry for entrepreneurship and just
Yeah.
really get their business started. So if you are a new or aspiring entrepreneur, all you have to do to get a free consultation is to go to our Instagram or our Be the Entrepreneur Facebook page. And that's all at www. Well, you can follow us at b.the.entrepreneur.com and share any of our posts. Any post that you see on there, share it on your page, tag us in it, and the first person to tag it, they would, well, actually two people. The first two people to tag us in any of our posts that you share, you get a free 30-minute consultation with me. And in that consultation, you can ask me anything. Like you got 30 minutes to ask me any startup questions.
Huh.
So, right, girl, anything. I'm ready. I'm an open book. I ain't gonna say I know everything, but I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable in a startup journey to really help you get where you need to get. So this is an opportunity for you to kind of get information and also, kind of work with me and see if I'm a good fit for you. And somebody that you want to kind of have to help you grow your business ongoing. So, like I said, if you haven't already, go to Instagram or Facebook at b.theentrepreneur.com. Share any post, tag me in it. When we get off live, the first two tags that I see on my phone when I check it, that's going to be my two winners, and you will be contacted by the end of the week with your appointment date.
Oh.
With that being said, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to another Talk It Out. We'll be back in 2 weeks, every other Wednesday from 6 to 7. I want to thank my beautiful, amazing, just everything guest, Vivian, for coming on, girl. You dropped some gems, and, like you did your thing.
Pleasure.
Okay. So if you have any questions, feel free to email us at 30daybiz@betheentrepreneur.com. And also check out our website. We have all the tools that you need to start your business. Whether you're a new entrepreneur, whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, whether you're an entrepreneur that's been doing this, but you got to pivot or retired, and for my people who are dual entrepreneurs. If you're working in full time and you're ready to transition out of full time, I have the support you need to do that the right way to make sure that you're successful in your transition and to get over some of those startup humps that you usually have. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Night.